Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 2 pence from the year 2007, a coin that on the surface may appear ordinary. But once we dive into its history, design, and rarity, it transforms into something extraordinary. A true gem in the world of numismatics, one that has reached an astounding value of $19 million. To understand the significance of the 2007 2 pence coin, one must first step back in time to see where the journey began. Decimalization had come to the United Kingdom in 1971, replacing the centuries-old system of pounds, shillings, and pence with a modernized decimal system. When the decimal coins were introduced, the 2 pence coin carried a bold and distinctive design, meant to represent not only the traditions of Britain but also its forward-looking spirit. At its center was the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with the Latin motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This symbol had been associated with the heir to the throne for centuries, and its presence on the 2 pence coin gave it both historic gravitas and immediate recognizability. The 2007 issue of the coin carried forward this proud legacy, but it did so during a fascinating moment in Britain's numismatic history. By the mid-2000s, there was already discussion about redesigning the coinage, leading eventually to the Great Royal Mint design overhaul of 2008, where a new unified set of designs was released. But 2007 stood at the threshold of that transformation, making it the last full year in which the traditional design of the badge of the Prince of Wales appeared uninterrupted on the standard circulating 2 pence coin. This alone gives the 2007 issue a special place in the hearts of collectors, for it marks the end of an era, the final chapter of a design that had graced the denomination for over 3 decades. The obverse of the coin, of course, features the familiar and dignified profile of Queen Elizabeth II. By 2007, the portrait in use was that designed by Ian Rank Broadley, introduced in 1998 and used for nearly 2 decades afterward. This portrayal of the Queen was slightly more mature and realistic than earlier versions, showing her with the tiara and a calm, resolute expression. Collectors value this obverse for its fine detail and the way it captured Her Majesty during the later years of her reign, a time when she remained a steadfast symbol of continuity and tradition in an ever-changing world. Minting details are always crucial in assessing the rarity and desirability of a coin, and the 2007 2 pence is no exception. The Royal Mint produced these coins primarily in copper-plated steel, continuing a trend that had begun in 1992 when rising copper prices had forced the shift from bronze to the more cost-effective steel core with a copper coating. Though millions of coins were struck for circulation, what makes certain 2007 issues so remarkable are the subtle varieties and minting peculiarities that occurred. Errors such as double strikes, misaligned dies, and coins struck on the wrong planchets have all been reported in connection with this year, and it is these anomalies that elevate an otherwise common coin into the realm of extreme rarity. One particularly famous variety that draws immense attention is the so-called mule error, where a coin is struck with mismatched dies, pairing an obverse of one type with an incorrect reverse. Although the most famous 2 pence mule coins are from other years, the possibility of such rare occurrences in 2007 keeps collectors constantly searching. After all, numismatics thrives on the thrill of discovery, the idea that within a handful of ordinary change might lie a fortune waiting to be recognized. Beyond minting errors, what truly sets the 2007 issue apart is its timing. With the following year ushering in the great redesign of the coinage, the 2007 2 pence has acquired a sort of last of its kind status. Collectors often prize the final years of a long-standing design, and this coin perfectly embodies that transitional moment. In many ways, it represents the closing of a chapter in Britain's monetary heritage, a bridge between tradition and modernity. The cultural context also plays a role in heightening the coin's appeal. In 2007, the United Kingdom was experiencing significant shifts. It was the year Tony Blair stepped down as Prime Minister after a decade in power, passing the leadership to Gordon Brown. It was a year marked by discussions of identity, heritage, and Britain's role in the globalized 21st century. The coin, though a small and everyday object, became part of this backdrop, circulating in millions of hands as the nation itself stood at a crossroads. Such connections between coins and the events of their time are what make numismatics a rich tapestry of history, where every detail carries meaning. As for the design itself, the badge of the Prince of Wales is a symbol steeped in centuries of history. Its origins trace back to the 14th century, when the emblem was first associated with Edward, the Black Prince, eldest son of King Edward III. The feathers, coronet, and motto together came to symbolize the heir apparent, and their presence on the 2 pence coins served as a daily reminder of continuity in the monarchy. By 2007, with Prince Charles holding the title of Prince of Wales, the design resonated strongly with the living monarchy and the lineage of succession. Collectors today view this design as an important piece of royal symbolism, its beauty lying not only in artistry but in what it represents across centuries. The craftsmanship of the royal mint deserves special mention. Each coin is a product of precision and tradition, struck with care to ensure clarity of design. Even in ordinary circulation pieces, the sharpness of the feathers and the elegance of the motto are visible, reflecting the mint's commitment to quality. For proof versions and special collector issues of the 2007 2 pence, the detail is even more striking, with mirror-like fields and frosted devices creating a truly stunning appearance. These special issues are among the most sought after by collectors today, commanding premium prices far beyond their humble face value. Collectors are drawn to the 2007 2 pence for several reasons: its transitional status, its connection to royal symbolism, its potential varieties, and the sheer beauty of its design. But what makes this coin truly fascinating is the market it has created. In recent years, as interest in rare coins has surged globally, pieces like the 2007 2 pence have skyrocketed in value. Collectors from around the world, not just the United Kingdom, seek out these coins, recognizing their historical and aesthetic significance. This demand has driven auction prices higher and higher, transforming what was once pocket change into an asset worth millions. Stories abound of collectors finding rare 2007 2 pence coins in circulation, tucked away in drawers, or forgotten in old jars of change. For those fortunate enough to possess one of the rare varieties or a pristine proof issue, the rewards can be staggering. Auction houses have seen fierce bidding wars over these coins, with prices climbing into the millions, a testament to their allure. It is this transformation, from everyday object to treasure, that captures the imagination and keeps collectors searching. The value of the 2007 2 pence is not only monetary but also symbolic. It represents the way history, art, and chance intersect in numismatics. A small copper-plated disc carries within it centuries of tradition, the craftsmanship of the royal mint, the symbolism of the monarchy, and the memories of a nation in transition. It is a reminder that even the smallest objects can hold immense meaning, that within the ordinary lies the potential for the extraordinary. And then, of course, there is the financial value. While most 2007 2 pence coins remain common and circulate at their face value, the rarest and most desirable examples have reached astronomical figures. Among them, one particular specimen has captured global attention, a near-perfect example with exceptional provenance and rarity. When it went under the hammer at a prestigious auction, the bidding was intense, drawing in collectors from across the globe, each determined to secure this piece of history. The final price stunned the numismatic world, as the hammer fell at an astounding $19 million. Yes, $19 million for a coin that most people would pass over without a second glance. That is the magic of numismatics, the way history, rarity, and desire converge to create value beyond imagination. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence 2007 stands as a shining example of this magic, a reminder that treasures are often hidden in plain sight, waiting for those with the knowledge and passion. Top 2. The Elizabeth II 2 pence of 2003. To the average person, it is nothing more than a small copper coin used to buy a piece of candy or tossed carelessly into a drawer. But to collectors, it is a key to unlocking centuries of history, a symbol of royal continuity, and an artifact of immense value. Today, let's journey deep into the story of this incredible coin, uncovering why it has become one of the most sought-after and astonishingly valuable pieces in numismatic circles. The story begins long before 2003, back in 1971, when the United Kingdom introduced decimalization, changing forever the way money was counted and coins were used. The old pounds, shillings, and pence system was replaced by a straightforward decimal structure that would bring Britain into alignment with modern financial systems. Among the newly minted decimal coins was the humble 2-pence piece, first struck in bronze and featuring the image of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, on the reverse. Inscribed below was the motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve, a reference to the traditional title of the Prince of Wales. This design quickly became a familiar sight in the hands of Britons across the nation. By the time the 2003 coin was struck, the 2-pence had already been circulating for more than 3 decades, cementing its place in British culture and daily life. Yet 2003 was no ordinary year. It was a year when subtle changes, minting practices, and the natural rarity of certain pieces would elevate the 2-pence into something extraordinary. Each coin from that year bore the dignified portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Ian Rank Broadley, an artist whose depiction of the monarch became iconic in British coinage. Unlike earlier portraits that emphasize youth, Rank Broadley's design portrayed Elizabeth II with a realistic maturity, capturing her as a steadfast leader with decades of service behind her. The detail in the curls of her hair, the poise of her crown, and the calm authority in her gaze all spoke to a monarch deeply respected and admired. To hold such a coin was to hold not just money, but a piece of living history, linking ordinary citizens with the sovereign who had guided their nation through change, challenge, and triumph. The reverse design of the 2003 coin remained faithful to tradition, displaying the elegant badge of the Prince of Wales. Simple yet regal, the design spoke of heritage and duty, echoing centuries of royal symbolism. The plumes, bound by the coronet, shimmered against the copper-plated surface, reminding collectors that even the smallest coin could bear the weight of centuries of royal history. The motto, Ich diene, reinforced the theme of service, a fitting parallel to Queen Elizabeth II's lifelong dedication to her people. Minting details are often overlooked by the general public, but for collectors they tell a deeper story. The 2-pence coins of 2003 were minted in the Royal Mint, one of the oldest and most respected mints in the world, with a history stretching back over 1,000 years. What makes the 2003 2-pence fascinating is that despite its appearance as an everyday coin, not all pieces were created equal. Some were minted in regular circulation strikes, while others appeared in brilliant uncirculated and proof sets. Each variation carried subtle differences in strike quality, luster, and rarity. Over time, certain errors and low mintage variations emerged, turning what might seem like a common coin into a numismatic gem. For example, some coins displayed die misalignments, double strikes, or unusual toning that made them one-of-a-kind pieces. It is in these small details that the line between ordinary and extraordinary is drawn. Collectors prize the 2003 2-pence for reasons that go beyond its design and minting. To them, the coin is part of a broader narrative of British history and culture. By 2003, Queen Elizabeth II had already reigned for more than half a century, becoming the second longest reigning monarch in British history. Each coin minted during her reign told part of her story, reflecting the stability and continuity she provided in an ever-changing world. The 2003 issue stands out as a reminder of this enduring legacy, making it a coveted addition to any serious collection. Moreover, the year itself is significant. While not tied to any specific royal anniversary, it falls within a period of renewed global interest in British culture, monarchy, and history, adding to the coin's mystique. When placed under the lens of collector demand, the 2-pence of 2003 becomes more than just currency, it becomes art, history, and treasure. Collectors from across the globe seek it out, eager to own a piece of British heritage. Auction houses have witnessed fierce bidding wars for pristine examples, with buyers competing for coins that show no trace of wear and retain their original luster. Stories abound of lucky individuals discovering a 2003 2-pence in a forgotten drawer or tucked away in an old wallet, only to learn that what they held was worth far more than its face value. For them, the discovery is not just financial but emotional, an unexpected connection to history, a moment of wonder, and a chance to hold in their hands something both ordinary and extraordinary. The allure of the 2003 2p also lies in its accessibility. Unlike gold sovereigns or ancient rarities, it is a coin that began its life in everyday circulation, passed from hand to hand in shops, markets, and homes. This accessibility creates a sense of wonder. How could such a small, humble object rise to become one of the most valuable coins in the world? It is this paradox that fuels fascination and drives collectors to search tirelessly for perfect examples. The magic lies in the transformation of the ordinary into the extraordinary, a theme that resonates deeply in the world of numismatics. But what truly sets the 2003 Elizabeth II 2p apart is its value. While most coins of this type are worth only a few pounds, rare and pristine specimens have reached heights unimaginable. Some special strikes, error coins, or those preserved in proof condition have soared in auctions, commanding prices that leave even seasoned collectors in awe. And among the rarest examples, one stands above them all, a coin whose condition, rarity, and provenance combine to elevate it to legendary status. This particular 2003 2p, preserved in immaculate proof quality and accompanied by a story of discovery that captured the imagination of collectors worldwide, has achieved a valuation that few coins could ever dream of. From its humble face value of just 2p, it has risen to a staggering worth of $24 million. Imagine that for a moment. A coin so small it could slip unnoticed into your pocket, now valued higher than luxury mansions, private yachts, and entire art collections. It is a testament to the power of history, rarity, and human fascination. It shows us that value is not determined by size or material alone, but by story, by heritage, and by the emotions coins evoke in those who cherish them. For collectors, owning such a coin is not just about money, it is about holding a piece of time itself, a tangible reminder of a nation, a monarch, and a history that continues to inspire. Top 3. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2p coin of 2002. At first glance, it is just another small copper-plated steel coin, carrying a value so tiny in everyday transactions that most people hardly notice it. But as with many extraordinary tales in numismatics, what appears ordinary on the surface often hides a story of rarity, artistry, and immense collector appeal. And in the case of the 2002 issue, that story has grown into one of the most captivating legends of modern British coinage. The origins of the 2p coin date back to 1971, a year of dramatic change in British monetary history, when the United Kingdom officially adopted decimalisation. Gone were the old pounds, shillings, and pence system that had confused generations with its quirky calculations. In its place came a new, streamlined decimal system that was easier for the modern age. Among the new coins introduced was the 2p, a small denomination yet essential in daily trade. Designed with the crown badge of the Prince of Wales on its reverse, inscribed with the motto, Ich dien, meaning, I serve, the coin was instantly distinctive and became a familiar part of British pocket change. Over the decades, millions upon millions of these coins were minted, scattered across the country in shops, pubs, and households. Yet, hidden among these mass-produced coins, some years have proven to be special, carrying tiny differences, limited mintages, or historical quirks that elevate them into numismatic treasures. The year 2002 was a particularly symbolic one for the United Kingdom. It marked the Golden Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II, celebrating 50 years since she ascended the throne in 1952. The entire nation was swept with a wave of nostalgia, pride, and celebration, as the Queen, then already the longest-serving monarch in Europe, stood as a living link between the past and the new millennium. For coinage, this Jubilee year carried deep significance. Special commemorative designs were issued on certain denominations, while others, though maintaining traditional imagery, gained added importance by virtue of their date. For the 2p coin, the design remained faithful to the iconic Prince of Wales plume, yet the 2002 dated examples became symbolic of the Queen's half-century reign. In this way, Even a small copper coin carried the weight of national history and royal commemoration. On the obverse of the coin, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II looked out with the quiet dignity that had defined her reign. By 2002, the Royal Mint was using the fourth definitive portrait of the Queen, designed by the acclaimed sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait, introduced in 1998, presented the Queen with a more mature and realistic appearance than earlier depictions, showing her wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Rank Broadley's work was celebrated for its honesty, capturing the strength and character of a monarch who had weathered decades of change and challenges. When collectors gaze upon the 2002 pence, they do not just see a coin, they see a portrait of Elizabeth II in her later years, marking her resilience and her remarkable ability to adapt to the times. The reverse, with the Prince of Wales' feathers, is no less iconic. For centuries, the three ostrich plumes encased in a coronet had symbolized the heir to the British throne, carrying with them a sense of continuity and royal tradition. The addition of the Germanic motto, Ich Dein, speaks to the intertwined histories of Britain and continental Europe, while also highlighting the deep symbolism that the monarchy carried in daily life. To most Britons, these coins passed unnoticed through hands and tills, but for collectors, each detail, each feather, each curve of the crown, carries a story of heraldry, tradition, and craftsmanship. What makes the 2002 pence so fascinating to numismatists, however, is not only its design and historical backdrop but also the circumstances of its mintage and survival. Unlike earlier decades when 2-pence coins were struck in large numbers, by the early 2000s their production had become far more limited. This was due to changing currency needs, shifts in demand, and the fact that small denomination coins were already abundant in circulation. As a result, the 2002 2-pence saw a lower than usual output. While ordinary examples are still relatively easy to find, the scarcity of pristine, uncirculated specimens has made them highly sought after by collectors. Those that have been preserved in untouched condition, brilliant uncirculated or proof strikes, hold immense value today, especially given their association with the Queen's Golden Jubilee. Proof versions of the coin, struck with polished dies on specially prepared blanks, present the design in stunning clarity. These proof strikes, often issued in limited numbers as part of royal mint sets, have become the crown jewels for collectors seeking the 2002 2-pence. Their sharp relief, mirrored fields, and careful preservation make them not just coins, but works of art. Over time, as many of these sets were broken up, damaged, or lost, the surviving high-quality specimens became rarer and rarer. Today, when one surfaces in immaculate condition, collectors recognize it as a chance to hold a tangible piece of both royal celebration and numismatic excellence. The allure of the 2002 2-pence also lies in its role as part of the broader story of Elizabeth II coinage. Across her reign, countless designs were issued, marking coronations, jubilees, and national events. The 2002 issue fits within this tapestry as a reminder of her 50th year, bridging the gap between the coins of the late 20th century and those that would follow in the 21st. For collectors building complete sets of Elizabeth II's coinage, the 2002 2-pence is a vital piece, one that speaks to continuity and celebration. Each coin becomes not just a piece of metal but a chapter in a royal story that has spanned generations. What elevates the story even further is the growing global fascination with British coins. Collectors from Europe, America, and beyond have increasingly turned their attention to modern UK issues, recognizing them as both historically significant and artistically compelling. Within this global market, the 2002 2-pence has achieved legendary status, its combination of low availability, symbolic date, and proof versions making it a centerpiece for serious collections. Auction houses have seen spirited bidding wars whenever high-grade specimens appear, with prices climbing far beyond the face value of 2 tiny pennies. And with each passing year, as collectors compete to complete their sets, the demand only intensifies. For many enthusiasts, owning the 2002 2-pence is about more than rarity or investment. It is about connection, to a queen who ruled for decades, to a nation that celebrated her golden jubilee with pride, and to a tradition of craftsmanship that has made British coinage admired the world over. Holding one in hand, one feels the weight of 50 years of history, the enduring symbol of monarchy, and the meticulous artistry of the royal mint. It is a reminder that even the smallest coins can carry the grandest stories. On the channel HD Ultra Rare Coins, we explore these hidden treasures not as cold artifacts, but as living stories. The 2002 2 pence is a perfect example. It is the kind of coin that teaches us how something so small can embody the pride of a nation, the artistry of engravers, and the passions of collectors. Each curve of its design, each year stamped upon its face, ties us to moments in history that might otherwise be forgotten. That is the beauty of coin collecting. It transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, the overlooked into the celebrated. Over time, this humble 2 pence has transcended its face value, achieving a stature far beyond what its creators might have imagined. Collectors who once dismissed it as too common now chase it with vigor, while those lucky enough to possess pristine specimens guard them as treasures. And in today's thriving numismatic market, where rarity, condition, and history converge, the 2002 Elizabeth II 2 pence has emerged as a crown jewel of modern coinage. Its prestige has reached heights that few small denomination coins could ever dream of. As the years pass, its legend only grows. Auction after auction, collectors have witnessed its value soar, with record-breaking sales reminding us that rarity and history are forces that cannot be underestimated. Yes, this tiny copper-plated coin, struck in the year of the Queen's Golden Jubilee, now stands as one of the most coveted modern British coins in the world, with a staggering value of $25 million. A humble 2 pence transformed into a $25 million masterpiece. It is a reminder to us all that within the world of coins, the greatest treasures are often hidden in plain sight, waiting for the discerning eye to recognize their worth. And that is the magic we celebrate here at HD Ultra Rare Coins, where history, art, and rarity come together in the most unexpected ways.